Hi everyone, it's the butler here from Coco Island. How are you today? How was your Easter? Did you celebrate it? I kind of celebrated it, not really, but I was at SakuraCon and I had a really good time. Today's not about that though, so we can talk about that another time. That being said though, I am curious, how do you guys celebrate your Easter? Like, is there something that you guys do? Because usually I work, so I don't really celebrate it. And I haven't celebrated it since I was young, like those Easter egg hunting and stuff like that. So I'm curious to know what people actually do. But besides that, today is going to be a short episode because it's going to be another exploration one. I wanted to keep these ones short because I didn't want to dump too much information on you guys all at once. It's more of like snippets of Coco Island. The previous exploration, I believe it was with the Sprawl, it was a little longer because it's my first time doing it, like that kind of style, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to aim for. But this time I am doing it where it's like, straight to the point, and this is the information that I have on this character and kind of why I created this character. But the character that I'm creating today, or that I didn't create today, I've created a while ago, has already existed. So some of you already know a lot about these guys, and some of you, this is your very first time hearing about them. And I'm talking about the Shookshrooms. So the Shookshrooms are actually side characters in Coco Island. They don't have that big of an impact, but they are very important to the forest of Coco Island, the Mori Forest, which, you might have seen me draw a little bit about the forest and stuff like that. I have a print that's about the Mori Forest, but yeah, you'll see that there has been many times where I've drawn like an artwork and the forest had like these little mushroom guys in the background. That's the Shookshroom. So I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit more about the Shookshroom, their role on Coco Island, and stuff like that. It's kind of like a fandom wiki, but through audio and some pictures, I guess. So yeah, let's get started. The Shookshroom. It is a sprite that protects the Mori Forest. They are also known as the guides of the Mori Forest. The very first time Kit and Dino encountered one is when Dino noticed that there was two Shookshrooms that were like tailing them, but it was like when you're playing like Go Go Stop, where you turn around and something stops and it gets closer and closer to you. It's kind of like that, but it was like an equal distance between Dino and the Shookshroom. So that's when he was like, "What is that?" And then that's when the Shookshrooms decided to introduce themselves. So that's how the Shookshrooms came to be on Coco Island. No one knows their origin story. I don't feel like drawing an origin story either, because I feel like sometimes the best stories have like a mysterious... Is that laziness though? I'm not sure. But at the same time, I don't know how I would like talk about the origin of a mushroom, because it's a mushroom. I mean, it's a walking and telepathically talking mushroom with abilities, but it's a mushroom. They kind of already exist for like a long time now. So that's my logic. But yeah, here are the characteristics of the Shookshroom. You'll notice that it has a face on the cap. The idea behind this was, I would say it's pretty common for people to look at an orca whale, and you know that white patch that's on the side of their face, and how everyone thought that was the eye. It's kind of like that, but it is on a mushroom. So the face on the mushroom cap is not the actual face. They have different spots on the mushroom cap as well, but the actual face is on the stem. Like, as you can see in this image right here on the side, that there's a little face on the stem. I wanted to highlight the fact that there are spots on these mushrooms as well, because purely for an artistic point of view, I don't want to draw that many spots. But when in animes and stuff like that, you see these side characters and they're like scuffed as heck, but the main characters look great. It's kind of like that. I don't want to draw like a bajillion spots on like a shit ton of mushrooms already. Like that's a lot of work. So I'm just gonna cut down on my workload by saying the only mushrooms that have spots will be the Shookshrooms. Those guys are the only ones that have spots. Everyone else does not get a spot. Okay, everyone else is just a normal mushroom. That's how I'm gonna do it. So there's gonna be different variants of mushrooms as well. The purple one and the green one. The purple one is a mana mushroom, so they are able to grow mana stones, and the green ones are able to grow veggies and fruits. So they kind of, like I said, they're the guides, right? So they maintain the magic balance in the forest, and they also maintain the food source in the forest for everyone else that lives in the forest. So whether it's be like a deer, a squirrel, etc., then that's where there's that balance. And since they're spirits, they come and go. So we don't have to worry about their extinction because they don't eat it themselves. They appear via magic essence. That's okay. That's the origin story. I'm kidding, but yes, they do appear via magic essence. So, like I said, the purple one is able to give you mana stones, or grow mana stones, and then you collect it yourself. The green ones have vegetables. The orange ones are the most common ones, but they are able to teleport. They can teleport themselves and they can teleport things. So one of the abilities of the Shookshroom is that they can sense when a hostile creature is in the Mori forest, and then they'll like yeet it out. They'll like yeet it and delete it, kind of. They teleport it into a fog forest, and then which is on the outskirts of Mori forest, and then it's kind of like it's over. You just have to figure out your way out of the fog forest, and then you're kind of like banned, basically, for causing a commotion. So that's the abilities of the Shookshroom, and the communication range on the orange mushrooms in particular are very, very, like, it's huge. And that's actually really important because you'll notice that in one of the stories that I wrote for Kit and Dino is that there was a food incident, which is why the Shookshrooms also hate Kit. And it's not just one, it's like all of them. They don't hate Kit, but they're very scared of her because she's like an absolute menace. She tried to eat them, and that Shookshroom, or the two Shookshrooms that were there that witnessed it, decided to tell everyone else, and so now they're all like scared of her. So that's the story between Kit and the Shookshrooms. Dino, on the other hand, though the Shookshrooms are very shy and stuff, have been able to communicate well with the Shookshrooms. They often help him in his own farm and stuff like that. Whenever he needs help looking for some type of vegetable or whatever in the forest, they're willing to help him and stuff like that. The habitat of the Shookshrooms is a main village, but within the Mori forest there's multiple villages, and there's like smaller villages and stuff like that. It's just like communication points basically, and Dino is able to come and go into any of them. They're hidden majority of the time, so you can't find them unless if they want it to be found, basically. So it's kind of like a little barrier that they have between the outside world and their village, which I think is pretty cool. If I, add that kind of aspect where it's like you can't mess with these guys. They're small enough, like they're like leave them alone kind of situation. If they want to help you, then they want to help you. So yeah, the Shookshrooms, the purple ones are only found within the cave. Blossom is the one that communicates well with these ones because she goes into the caves a lot for her science experiments. And the green ones, I decided to make them not that well known because I thought it would be kind of cute how like you don't really see the green ones because there's a lot of green around the area, so they kind of blend in, and so you also don't really see them growing the fruits and vegetables. They kind of just appear, and that's how you know that a green one must have been nearby. So that's the story of the Shookshrooms. Like I said, I wanted to keep it short today because the Shookshrooms have a bit of a story, but it's not to the point where it's a huge like drop that I'm giving you right now. Some like you might have already seen these Shookshroom like images and stickers and stuff like that. Do I plan on making plushies of them? Maybe in the far future, but it would be like a small keychain plushie instead. But yeah, this is the Shookshroom, and I really hope that you guys like this character. They can't talk. They kind of just appear in the panels. They kind of appear in posters. I have some stickers about them. I hope that they end up getting their own little fandom, because I think that that'd be kind of cute when, you know, a side character outshines a main character. It's kind of happening already with Suki, but, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, this is a Shookshroom. Once again, my name is The Butler. I am the butler of Kit and Dino on Koku Island. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye!